buddy Tom Berry here with a real quick video on building your buy box. So that's the topic. Now let's talk about quickly what is a buy box. It is for me at least, and I've done this with single family rentals, single family fix and flips. I've done it with apartment complexes, lending, and now we do it with shopping centers. When I move into an asset class or a strategy in an asset class, I always build what I call my buy box. And that is a set of rules that I will stick to come hell or high water, regardless of how I feel about a property. So how do you build a buy box? It's quite simple. You need to sit down and ask yourself a few questions. What would be the parameters for a deal for me to buy that would be highly, I don't want to say guaranteed because there's never any guarantees in investing, but just highly likely that I'm going to make a profit? Right? So let's look at single family fix and flip for a minute. You know, you're going to hear formulas that have been around for years and years and years, and those formulas are really the makings of a buy box. When you hear people say if you can buy a house at 70% of the after repair value minus the cost of repairs, that's probably going to be a pretty successful flip. Well, that formula is there for a reason. Now, I would argue, and people say, well, I don't need 30% spread. You know, I could live on 10. Trust me, if you're buying at 70% minus repairs, you're only going to get 10. Well, where's the other 20 go? Well, it goes to all the other costs that aren't calculated in that ARV formula. Okay? The ARV formula only takes into account the repairs. But what about the holding costs? Aside from the repairs, that's the biggest cost of you owning this property and doing this flip. That's the cost of your capital. That's your interest. That's the cost of the utilities, the taxes while you owe it, the insurance while you own it, the lawn maintenance, the utility. All of these costs have to come out of your 30% that you have left when you bought it at 70% minus repairs. Then you have all your closing costs on the front end, all your closing costs on the back end, your realtor commission on the back end, any concessions that you have to pay the seller on the back end, all of that also has to come out of that 30%. So when you're building your buy box for what you will buy on a fix and flip single family, make sure that that does not allow you to go over 70% of the after repair value minus the repair costs, because you need that 30% to cover all those other costs, and then hopefully have 10 to 12% left over for yourself. Hopefully that's helpful for you. In addition to that, I would look at geography, I would look at the market, I would look at neighborhoods, I would look at price point, you know, and build this very tight box and say, if the house doesn't look like this box, I don't buy it. And if you stick to a strong buy box, you'll be very successful in the business, and you'll be in it for decades if you choose to. Hope that's helpful for you. See you on the next video.